Why are dominant and recessive traits important in GED genetics? Imagine you are trying to figure out why some people have curly hair while others have straight hair. The answer lies in how traits are inherited from parents. Dominant and recessive traits help explain these differences. When you learn about these traits, you understand how characteristics are passed down through families. This is a big part of genetics and heredity, which are key topics in GED science and life science. Every person inherits two copies of each gene, one from each parent. These copies are called alleles. A dominant trait only needs one dominant allele to show up in a person. For example, if the allele for brown eyes is dominant, having just one brown eye allele will give you brown eyes. So, even if you have a recessive allele for blue eyes, the brown eyes will be visible because of the dominant brown allele. Recessive traits are different. They only show up if a person inherits two recessive alleles, one from each parent. If someone has one dominant and one recessive allele, the dominant trait will hide the recessive one. For example, blue eyes are often recessive, so a person needs two blue eye alleles to have blue eyes. If they only have one blue eye allele, their eyes will be a different color, like brown or green, depending on other genes. This difference helps explain why some traits skip generations or why children can have traits neither parent shows. If both parents carry a recessive allele but do not show the trait themselves, their child might still inherit two recessive alleles and show the trait. This is why family traits can sometimes seem unpredictable. Knowing about dominant and recessive traits helps you understand how traits are inherited and why family members can look similar or different. It also helps explain how genetic disorders are passed down. For example, some genetic conditions are recessive, so a person needs two copies of the faulty gene to have the disorder. In everyday life, this knowledge can help you understand family health history and why certain traits appear in your family. It also lays the foundation for learning more about biology and health sciences. Recognizing how dominant and recessive traits work gives you a clearer picture of how genes influence the way we look and how our bodies work. To sum up, dominant and recessive traits are important because they explain how traits are inherited and expressed. They help us understand the diversity in families and populations. This is a fundamental idea in GED life science and genetics that helps us make sense of the natural world around us.